Caught my boyfriend kissing my celeb crush on New Year's Eve. Now I'm in bed with both of them. Waking up naked in the middle of my oh-so-awesome boyfriend. And my long-time celebrity crush was definitely not on my bingo list for this New Year's. But you never know what a wild New Year's Eve could do to you. Everything was great until last night. I had a loving boyfriend, yeah, we had our issues, but we were happy together. But one drunken night and a lot of hidden passion has left me with a wound in my heart and a chaotic mess. Now here I was with Tyler on my right, the effect of all the vodka shots last night clear on his tired face. And on my left, Austin Hayes, the Hollywood heartthrob, sleeping peacefully, with his hair messed up all too perfectly, still looking hot as ever. As I was still thinking about last night, unable to get the horrible picture out of my mind, I saw Tyler slowly wake up. He took a good 20 seconds or so to process his surroundings, blinking like he was just figuring out the concept of morning, and then it hit him. What? What the hell happened here? Tyler's voice was rough, thick with panic. He shot up so fast I thought he was going to knock over the lamp. All your fault, I muttered, the sadness and anger I was trying to push down overpowering me yet again. What? Tyler stared at me, eyes wide, still too dazed to grasp the situation. How the hell is this my fault? You... He glanced at Austin, still sleeping beside me. Oh my god. Yeah, I snapped, sitting up and crossing my arms. You kissed him, genius. How's that for a wake-up call? Tyler blinked, his brain clearly trying to catch up with his surroundings. I don't remember kissing him. Of course you don't, I shot back, rubbing my temples. You were so wasted you thought you were probably making out with a mirror. Tyler groaned, burying his face in my hands. Okay, but... He froze, his gaze falling on Austin again, who was still sleeping, completely unaware of the chaos around him. Wait a minute, was I really kissing him? I gave him a pointed look, furious now. No, Tyler, you weren't just kissing him. You were practically eating his face off. Tyler looked confused. Then it hit him. He turned to me with wide eyes. Oh, now I remember. You went outside to take that work call. I was bored. And then I just met him. And really saw... I threw my hands up in frustration. So, your excuse. I was bored, so I kissed my boyfriend's celebrity crush. You didn't even check if I was coming back? You didn't think? I stopped mid-rant when Austin shifted beside me, groaning as he rubbed his eyes, his voice barely a whisper. What's all the noise? He froze, his gaze locking onto the naked body next to mine. Where the hell am I? He bolted upright, looking like he just realized he was stranded on Mars. Oh god. What happened? That's exactly what we're trying to figure out. Tyler snapped, looking between the two of us, like we were trying to piece together some absurd puzzle. Austin looked horrified. I don't remember anything. He glanced at us, his face a mixture of confusion and pure panic. How the hell could this happen? I threw my hands up. Yeah, that's what I want to know. You two were wasted. You made out like it was a rom-com. And now, here we are, trying to sort out this mess. Tyler looked at me. Look, I was trying to make a point, alright? Things between us have been... He froze, realizing the mess he just made. Austin just sat there awkwardly, muttering, I seriously need to go back to my house. This is a nightmare. Tyler snapped, turning to me, with frustration boiling over. Wait, you're the one who couldn't stay calm and join us. You're the one who couldn't stay calm and join us? You had to make everything worse. I narrowed my eyes, my anger reaching a breaking point. Oh, so this is now my fault. Tyler sighed dramatically. No, I'm not saying that, but I felt ignored. You were just way too busy on your phone. It's as much as your fault as mine. My jaw clenched. God, Tyler! Austin remained quiet, still looking like he wanted to be anywhere but here, his face red from embarrassment. I couldn't hold it in any longer. You want to know what happened, Tyler? Fine. So, my work call, right? I come back to see you literally making out with him. Yet, I tried to calm down, talk it out with Austin here. I turned to Austin, practically spitting the words. Decides, hey, why not you shut up and join us? Tyler's eyes widened. Wait. I shrugged, the words pouring out before I could stop them. I got carried away, the heat of the moment, you know, so I suggested the three of us come back to our house. I glanced at Austin, who was now looking utterly defeated. Tyler's face flushed. Wait, so you... Yeah, all of us slept together. But you started it, I said, cutting him off. Austin suddenly shot to his feet, flailing for the blanket, his eyes wide with disbelief. How the hell could this happen? Both of us looked at him confused. I mean, what is he fussing about? Isn't this usual for him? I have heard rumors about his many escapades. A threesome wouldn't be new for a Casanova like Austin, would it? I'm straight, he nearly shouted, his voice cracking. This is insane! Well now, that was surprising. Both of us shot him a look that said, now you remember you're straight. Austin stood froze. I don't even know what happened. He rubbed his face, still shaking his head, muttering, I really need to get back to my house. I need to get out of here. Austin fumbled his phone, his hands trembling as he glanced at his screen. I could already tell something was wrong. Shit. No, he muttered, scrolling furiously. No. What's going on? Tyler asked. Austin's gaze flicked to us, his voice barely above a whisper. It's all over the internet. The photo is viral. What photo? I asked, annoyance creeping in. The damn kiss, Austin said as he shoved his phone towards us, showing the picture of him and Tyler kissing. Someone snapped it. It's everywhere. Tyler's eyes widened. Are you serious? Austin's voice cracked as he scrolled through his messages. My manager's freaking out. Look. He tapped on the text, reading it out loud with a pained look on his face. What the hell is this, Austin? You've started a damn scandal. Get your shit together and fix this now. The press is already eating it up. You're gonna be mobbed if you leave. Call me ASAP. Jesus, I muttered under my breath. Austin wasn't in trouble. This was a full-on disaster. I can't go outside, Austin said, clearly panicked. The press is going to rip me apart. I'm done. This is insane. I exchanged a glance with Tyler before sighing. As much as I didn't need the Hollywood Casanova in my house to complicate things further, this was a desperate situation. So I did what I thought was best. Since we're already at your place, you could stay here until things calm down. It's the only option. Austin hesitated. Stay here? But you're not walking into a mob. Crash here until things settle. He looked between us, still confused. Fine, he muttered. What do we do now? Take a shower, I guess, I said, trying to sound casual. I'll make breakfast. Tyler looked at me, too guilty to even meet my eyes. Milo, I'm sorry. I don't even know how it happened. Not right now, Tyler. But yes, we'll figure it out, I added, voice tight. I knew all three of us were responsible for this mess, but I couldn't get the picture of my boyfriend kissing my celebrity crush out of my mind. I couldn't forgive him for kissing Austin. Tyler sighed. I can't believe this. Neither could I. This was the most chaotic start to any year ever. 5 minutes later, I stood outside the guest room, spare towels in hand, and knocked softly. Austin? Towels? No response. I cracked the door open. He was sitting on the bed, face buried in his hands. Everything okay? I said, gently stepping inside. He looked up, clearly exhausted. I don't know what's going on with me, he muttered. I sat down. What do you mean? He sighed. Last night doesn't make sense. I've always been into girls, but... He hesitated. I think I like kissing Tyler. I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm bisexual? Or maybe I'm just losing my mind. I leaned forward. Hey, first of all, you're not losing your mind. And second, it's okay to be confused. You don't have to figure out everything right now. How am I supposed to figure this out when I don't even know where to start. It's not me, or at least, it hasn't been me. That's the thing, I said gently. It doesn't have to be who you've always been. People change. He let out a humorous laugh. Great! I'm not just Austin Haynes, the guy who gets into ridiculous scandals. I'm also Austin Haynes, the guy who has no idea who he is. I placed the towels on the bed next to him. You're still Austin. And being confused doesn't make you any less of a person. If you think you might be bisexual, take the time to explore that. No pressure, no expectations, just give yourself some grace, okay? He looked at me surprised. I didn't expect you to be this understanding. I shrugged, trying to ignore the simmering resentment bubbling beneath the surface. As much as I felt bad for him, I couldn't shake the thought that none of this would have spiraled so badly if he hadn't approached Tyler in the first place. But now wasn't the time to say it. He was messed up enough. Take a shower, clear your head. I'll be in the kitchen, I said, as I walked out. Glancing back, maybe he wasn't the only person who needed to figure things out. About half an hour later, chocolate chip pancakes, huh? They're my favorite, Austin said as he sat down at the kitchen table, his hair still damp from the shower, and a faint smile on his lips. He looked slightly less tense than earlier. Yeah, I know, I said hesitantly. No way I was telling him that I'd stalked his socials enough to know that. Playing it cool, I added. Thought you could use some cheering up. How did you... Austin started to ask. But Tyler walked in, cutting him off. Ooh, pancakes, Tyler announced, his tone unusually light as he grabbed a seat. No one makes pancakes better than you, Milo. He passed me a quick smile, one that felt genuine, though it didn't completely erase the weight of last night. I returned the smile half-heartedly, the ache still fresh in my chest. Thanks. The next 15 minutes passed in an awkward small talk about New Year's resolutions and plans for the year. We all avoided mentioning last night until Tyler steered the conversation there, and I couldn't hold back anymore. How could you do this to me, Tyler? After everything! I snapped. Come on, Milo. I said I'm sorry. And I wasn't the only one involved here. He said, his tone half dismissive, half guilty. Yeah, but you're the one who started it, I shot back. It was a drunken mistake, Milo. Please let it go. It's not like you've never made any mistakes, considering your history. And with all the issues you were having lately. I just slipped, okay? Now just forgive me. Tyler's voice rose, and I felt anger bubbling up. History? Yeah, he meant the fact that I was a playboy who didn't believe in commitment or relationships before I met him. But Tyler was the one I changed for. The one person who made me believe in love. And it was his first love. As good as this love story sounds, this is the reason me and Tyler have been having a lot of issues lately. I can't believe you're bringing this up again, I thought. I tried to calm myself, aware of how awkward this was making Austin, who sat silently watching us. You thought what, Milo? Do you even know what it's like dating a playboy? Every day, I wake up thinking if I've ever been good enough for you, because you've had all these experiences. And I just know you. I want to explore things as well. Know the world outside of you. Is that too much to ask for? He said, his voice a little vulnerable now. And by the way, we both slept with him, so stop trying to pin this on me, he said, his soft voice now a yell. Just when I least expected it, Austin chimed in, his voice firm but calm. What are you shouting at him about, Tyler? You were the one flirting with me in the first place. So all of this is on you. Stay out of this, Austin. This is a couples thing, Tyler snapped. Oh, is it? I cut in. Are we even a couple anymore, Tyler? With you going around flirting with other people? You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe we're not. Maybe I need to explore things without the baggage of this relationship, he said, breaking my heart with just one word. Baggage. Is that all I am to you? My voice shuddered in tears, threatening to spill. No, Milo, I'm sorry. I'm just pissed. You know I didn't mean that. I just think we should take a break. I want to explore things on my own, Tyler said, his eyes filled with all the emotions at once. But we've been together for 6 months. I changed for you, Tyler. You know I love you. My voice cracked as I tried to reason with him. I know, and I love you. You know how devoted I've been to you all these months. But this I need to do for myself, he said softly. But I tried to convince him for the 100th time, like I've been doing for the past few weeks, before Austin cut me off. Alright, everyone needs to calm down. Since you're taking a break or whatever, and I'm considering I'm 60% sure that I'm bisexual after last night, and stuck in this house, I want you guys to make the most of it. Maybe we should explore what happened. It might give you guys some clarity. He turned to me. What do you say, Milo? Last night was a mistake. I started, but Tyler cut me off. I'm in. Exploration is all I want, right? He sounded a little too eager, and it broke my heart even more. Austin turned back to me with that charming smile. And you, Milo? Would you like to join? Give us a minute, I said, pulling Tyler to the side. What are you doing, Tyler? I think it can give me some clarity. So why not try it out? He said a little too excitedly. But this is not done. We can't just throw 6 months down the drain just because you want to explore. I changed for you. You're the one person I truly loved. I pleaded yet again. I know, and I'm grateful for what you did. It's been amazing. But please understand, I need to do this. For my own self. I can't keep living like this. Let me do this, please. I looked at Tyler, feeling the distance between us, even though he was right there. Fine. If exploring is what you want, then let's explore together. Then I turned to Austin. I'm in. Maybe it was desperation. Maybe it was hope. Either way, I'd take whatever scrap of closeness I could get. 10 minutes later, that's how I found myself shirtless, back on the bed kissing my celebrity crush. Something I'd only fantasized about. Austin was a bit hesitant at first. Maybe the doubts of his sexuality were still creeping in his mind. But slowly he became more comfortable, more confident with his touch. His lips were warm and soft, his hands tracing a line down my chest that had made my breath hitch. Tyler was beside me, slowly unbuttoning his shirt, his eyes burning with the intensity. As he leaned closer, the heat between the three of us was electric, every kiss and touch blurring the lines of reason. Austin's touch grew bolder, his fingers grazing my skin in ways that sent jolts of pleasure through me. Tyler's lips followed, pressing against my jaw, then lower, leaving a trail that made my pulse race. I could feel the weight of their bodies, the warmth of their skin, and the way every touch felt like it was igniting something deep inside me. My head spun as Austin slipped lower, his grip firm, his confidence undeniable. It wasn't just passion. It was raw, chaotic, and completely consuming. For once, I didn't care about what it meant or what would happen next. I let myself give in, fully, completely, to the heated mess we were creating. More than an hour later, the threesome wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Who am I kidding? It was probably the best sex I ever had. All three of us were lying there, curled up in a mess of sheets, our bodies entwined. I looked at them, with the biggest grin on my face. That was amazing, I said, still a little breathless from the whole thing. That did clear things up. There's no way in hell that I'm not bisexual, he said, with a low chuckle. We should definitely try this again, he added as he winked at me, his face reflecting the smile I had. But when I turned to Tyler, he didn't smile. He just looked at me blankly, as he slowly muttered, "For someone who was against it, you seem to be enjoying this a lot." My smile faltered, replaced by confusion. "Did you not like it?" "It was all right," Tyler said as he got up, grabbed his clothes, and then made his way out of the room, leaving me confused as hell. Wasn't this what he wanted? Later that afternoon, the three of us decided to watch a holiday movie to pass the time. Austin starred in it. I couldn't help myself but smile at how cheesy it was. Austin playing the perfect romantic lead. "I'll grab the popcorn," I said, standing up. Austin was already on his feet grinning. "I'll help you. You shouldn't do everything by yourself." "You're always so eager to help," I teased. Austin grinned, never faltered. "Maybe I just like being around you. More than someone else out there." He flicked a glance towards Tyler, still glued to the TV. "He's kind of distracted, don't you think?" I raised an eyebrow. "He's fine. Just into the movie." Austin moved closer, his breath warmth against my ear. "You and I could be having way more fun than that." I looked away, trying to not get drawn in. "We'll see." Austin's smirk deepened. "If you change your mind, I'm here. I always am." I forced a laugh, but his words lingered, as I grabbed the popcorn bowl. Was that just him being his usual charming, playful self? The Hollywood flirt I've heard of? Or was it the aftermath of the mind-blowing sex we had? Still messing with both of our heads. Worse, did he actually mean it? The tension in the air made it almost hard to focus on the rest of the movie. Almost. Later that evening, Austin leaned back against the counter, sipping coffee like he had nowhere else to be. Tyler had left for groceries 20 minutes ago, leaving me and the Hollywood's finest alone. Surprisingly, it wasn't awkward as I thought. So, Austin, breaking the silence, you and Tyler 6 months, huh? Yeah, I nodded. Feels longer. Longer in a good way, or prison sentence kind of way? He grinned, the one that broke the internet more than once. I snorted. Depends on the day. Austin chuckled softly. Relationships. You gotta love 'em. Big words from a guy who probably has people lining up to date him, I shot back. Oh, absolutely, he deadpanned. Nothing says healthy love life like dodging paparazzi while your date Googles if you're worth it. I missed out laughter. His phone buzzed again for the 100th time today. His manager. He declined it without a second glance. You're not answering that, I asked. His smile faltered. Nah, I'll deal with that mess later. Right now, I just want some peace. Is that too much to ask? I nodded, not pushing. Instead, I tried to lighten up the mood. You know, you were my celebrity crush back in the day, I said hesitatingly. Austin blinked, then smirked. Were? Yeah. I might have had a poster or two, I admitted. Poster or shrine. His laugh was warm and teasing. Shut up, I groaned, cheeks heating. I'm just still saying I'm rooting for you. Especially for the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo movie adaptation. Harry Cameron, huh? His gaze held mine. You'd be perfect, I said. You have the range, the charm, everyone thinks so. His voice dropped playful. Or just you. I rolled my eyes, but my smile betrayed me. You're impossible, and you're too cute when you're flustered. His tone softened, and my heart stuttered. Just then the door slammed. Tyler walked in, dumping the groceries. Hey, Ty, you're back, I said, smiling, a little too happy to see him. But Tyler's eyes didn't meet the happiness in mine. They were rather sad. Hurt, maybe. Hey, I'm going to be in our room. I have some work and stuff to take care of, he said. Almost dismissively. Something wasn't right. It was clear in the way Tyler didn't return the smile I passed him. Just like that, he left, leaving me wondering if all of this was because of Austin. Like, was Tyler jealous? That same night, after dinner, as we cleared the plates, Austin leaned against the counter, his smirk firmly in place. So, he started calmly, are we going at it again tonight? I felt my face heat up, but couldn't help a small smile. I mean, I guess I'd be up for it. My tone was light, trying to keep it casual. However, Tyler didn't share my enthusiasm. Maybe tomorrow, he said flatly, eyes glued to his phone. I'm tired. He didn't wait for a reply, just muttered good night and disappeared into the bedroom, leaving an awkward silence in his wake. Austin raised an eyebrow, but didn't comment, giving me a shrug before heading into the guest room. After making sure Austin had everything he needed, I slipped into the bedroom, finding Tyler already curled up under the blankets. Hey, considering our break situation or whatever, is it okay if I sleep here with you? I asked softly. Of course. I wouldn't lose the chance to sleep next to my favorite cuddling buddy. He smiled a little, though it didn't reach his eyes. Ty, I whispered, sliding under the covers beside him. Is something wrong? No, he mumbled into the pillow. It's just, I don't know if I get this whole exploration hype, but then at the same time, I also want to explore. I'm just scared. What if I ruin things? You won't. Even if you did, I'll be there to fix it. I promise. Just tell me what you want. I asked in the softest tone possible. I'm confused, but I do want to explore, he said, a faint smile forming on his lips. Okay, let's try again tomorrow. And then, we can figure it all out, I asked. Tyler nodded as he wrapped his arms around my waist, pulling me in for a peaceful sleep. The next afternoon. Oh God, Austin! Yes! I couldn't stop the moans as Austin worked his hands and mouth all over me. The three of us were in bed again, and somehow, this was even better than yesterday. I tried at first to keep control. Tyler was there too, remember? But Austin was relentless. He was everywhere. his mouth on my chest, hands traveling lower. Every coherent thought crumbled as my body burned with need. I glanced at Tyler, hoping for some connection, maybe pulling him into this. But Tyler was distant, his focus lost. The more I focused on Austin, the more I realized he was giving me his full attention, his hands slipping. His hands, lips, and gaze were fixed on me, and only me. I moaned louder, unable to hold back. Austin was just so damn good at this. My body screamed for more, and it felt like he was feeding off my desperation. Then, without warning, Tyler shot up from the bed. What the hell? I muttered, trying to sit up. He didn't even look at us, just stormed out. I quickly followed him, my mind racing. Ty, what's wrong? Ty spun around, flushed with anger. You never felt that way with me, he shouted. I blinked confused. What are you jealous? Ty, this whole thing was your idea. You wanted to explore, to... Tyler cut me off, shaking his head. You're enjoying this way too much. Way more than you did with me. Are you serious? My chest tightened. You're the one who wanted this. I'm just... No, he barked, his voice raw. You've always been a fucking playboy. You can't help it, right? The fact is, you love banging other people more than your boyfriend. The words felt like a punch. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. Tyler grabbed his bag, shoving his stuff inside. I'm done. I don't care about the break, or the exploration, or whatever bullshit you want to call it. I'm breaking up with you, he muttered, not sparing me a glance. Ty! I started, but he didn't wait. The door slammed behind him. I stood frozen, chest tight, a mixture of anger and disbelief flooding me. Tears pricked my eyes, but I fought them back. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. Austin appeared in the doorway, concern on his face. Milo, what happened? I snapped, voice bitter. What happened? What happened is you happened. If you hadn't kissed Tyler, none of this would have started. You're the reason we're all here, stuck in this mess. Austin flinched, but didn't back down. Milo, I'm sorry. I didn't... No, I cut him off. I've had enough of this playboy drama for one life. I've changed my ways. All was good, but then you popped up. Ever the charmer, trying to find clarity through us. And now, my boyfriend thinks he'll be better off as a playboy. I'm just tired of all this. Austin tried to speak again, but I cut him off yet again. Moreover, I don't need comfort from someone who's running away from their own problems. That's what you're good at, right? Escaping? His jaw tightened. He opened his mouth, but words never came. Just go, Austin, I said, voice breaking. If you're going to run from everything, then go. I'm done. He didn't argue. He grabbed his jacket and left, leaving me standing there, alone. The silence that followed was deafening, for the first time in a long time. I didn't know what to do next. A few weeks later, a few weeks had passed, and things weren't any better. I was back at work after the break. I couldn't focus at all. Tyler hadn't spoken to me since that night. My attempts to reach him, calls, texts, voicemails, were all ignored. I had to fix things. I had to promise him that. Moreover, it was all my mistake. I was the one who got lost in the passion. I didn't realize I was hurting him. I wanted to talk to him, but he was having none of it. Austin, though he had been checking in, even his scandal situation was quieter now. His PR team had launched a few projects to distract from the mess, and slowly the media buzz around him was dying down. He texted a couple of times saying, I know things got messy. I'm sorry for creating this mess. I really want to make things right. I didn't know what to say, but I agreed to meet up. We met at the park. Austin greeted me with that damn smile of his. It should have irritated me, but it didn't. Hey, he said after a few awkward minutes. I'm sorry for everything. I didn't expect it to get this messy. I nodded slowly, his apology feeling heavier than I expected. I'm sorry for snapping at you. You were just trying to help, and I took it out on you. It's just, everything is a mess right now. Austin gave me a small smile, then glanced down briefly before speaking again. Honestly, that Playboy rant of yours hit harder than you probably realized. I frowned. What do you mean? He let out a breath, rubbing the back of his neck. I've spent years jumping from one fling to the next. It's always been fun, but seeing what you and Tyler are going through, how much you've hurt each other, made me take a hard look at myself. Like, is it even worth it? The thrill of sleeping around, it's not. Not when it ruins people like that. I stayed quiet, watching him, but he didn't stop. I've always been scared of settling down, you know? It felt boring. Too ordinary for someone like me. But seeing you two, it hit me. Maybe it's not boring. Maybe it's the kind of thrill that actually lasts. His words caught me off guard, leaving me unsure how to respond. That's a big realization, I managed. He nodded, a small, self-deprecating smile on his face. It is, and, I guess I owe you for snapping at me like that. I didn't like hearing it, but damn, I needed to face things. I couldn't help but laugh. You really know how to say the right things, Austin grinned. It's a gift, but seriously, I'm here if you need to talk or just hang. We spent the next hour laughing over random nonsense, the weight on my chest easing for the first time in weeks. Then as we laughed, Austin moved a little closer. I froze, but when his lips brushed mine, I pulled back. Austin, wait, what are you doing? His face shifted to regret. Shit! Sorry, I shouldn't have. I sighed, rubbing my face. I'm still trying to talk to Tyler, I said softly. Austin nodded. Yeah, I understand. The tension lingered for a moment. I'll figure it out, I said. It's just, I need to try harder. Austin gave me a small, reassuring smile. You will, and I'm here if you need anything, okay? For the first time in a while, I felt a little lighter. Maybe I wasn't alone as I thought. The next day, I decided to try harder, to fix things. After all, this was my fault, right? So I went to Tyler's new apartment, hoping he'd talk to me. When the door swung open, I froze. The Ethan Cole, the Hollywood actor, shirtless and disheveled, stood there, his hair a mess. I barely processed it before Tyler appeared behind him, his shirt hanging loosely. What the hell do you want? He snapped. Tyler, what is this? What are you doing? I asked, my voice tight. Tyler scoffed, eyes flickering to Ethan. Isn't this what you used to do, Milo? Sex with no strings, no commitment? I'm just following your lead. Don't act surprised. His words felt like a punch. You never understood me. Now, I'm done trying. Tyler hissed, venom dripping from his voice. This is who I am now. Not your perfect boyfriend. I blinked, unable to respond. This was a reality check I needed. It was over. All the 6 months we spent. All the good memories, all down the drain like that. Get lost, Milo. Tyler spat, turning away. I walked out, chest tight, knowing things were beyond fixing. And as much as I didn't want to give up on him, this relationship couldn't be saved, because he was no longer the sweet, caring Tyler I fell in love with. He turned into a cruel player, a glimpse of his past self. And knowing what I did about it, I'd given up. He wasn't my Tyler anymore. Later that night, Austin showed up in my place with takeout, looking like he'd been plotting the world's most casual please don't hate me gesture. He grinned sheepishly. When I opened the door, I figured we could at least stay friends. He said, holding up the bag like they were a peace offering. I shrugged, masking the ache in my chest. Yeah, sure, friends sounds good. We ate and laughed, letting the day's weight drift away. For the first time in weeks, I felt normal. But then, the mood shifted as the screen flickered to breaking news. Ethan Cole's face filled the screen, his expression smug and venomous. Austin Hayes isn't just a gay man, using women to climb the ladder in Hollywood. No, he's a cheater, a homewrecker. He kissed my friend, yes. The one in the photo making rounds, then dumped him, only to steal his boyfriend. My friend's a mess. I was up late last night, confronting him as he cried now. Austin's toying with his new boyfriend too, this Milo guy. He even used the poor guy to hide in their house on West Street. When the media was after him, Ethan leaned forward, his voice dripping with malice. Like father, like son, right? My blood ran cold. I turned to Austin, who froze pale and breathing shallow. Austin, I said softly. He dropped the takeout onto the table and stood abruptly, pacing with his eyes wide. I can't believe he said that, he whispered, voice cracking. I've worked so hard to prove I'm not like him. And now this? How do I fix this? Austin talked to me. What's going on? He stopped, tears in his eyes. My dad, he was a cheater, a liar. He wrecked families, Milo. My whole life. I've been trying to not be like him. And now, Ethan's out there saying I am him. His voice broke. You're not him, I said firmly, touching his arm. You could never be. Austin sighed, collapsing onto the couch. Ethan, he's doing this because we're both up for the 7 husbands role. He's been after me for months, trying to ruin me. And now this? Milo, I don't know how much more of this I can take. I hesitated. But did he mean about Tyler? What did he mean about Tyler? Austin's breath hitched. I think Tyler told something. Or maybe they... He trailed off, guilt flashing in his eyes. I saw Ethan at Tyler's today. I said, my throat tight. He was shirtless. Austin's face fell. Shit, this is my fault. I shouldn't have. Stop, I said, grabbing his hand. This isn't on you, Ethan. Ethan's the asshole here, not you. Austin looked at me, his eyes filled with gratitude and something deeper. Slowly I leaned in and kissed him. It was the tentative at first, but he kissed me back, desperate and hungry, pulling me closer, as if he couldn't let go. When we finally parted breathless, his forehead rested against mine. Milo, he murmured, his voice raw. I think I really like you, more than I probably should. But I'm so scared of messing this up, of hurting you. My heart pounded as I cupped his face, forcing him to meet my eyes. I'm still trying to move on from Tyler, I admitted. But I feel it too. Whatever this is, whatever we have, we could take it slow. Slow is good, he whispered, tears slipping down his cheek. I kissed him again. Soft this time. A quiet promise. That night we stayed up talking about everything. Our scars, fears, and battles. I didn't know what would come next. But for the first time in a long time, I felt certain for one thing. I wasn't ready to let Austin go. A few days earlier, the scandal hit me harder than I expected. The day after Ethan's broadcast, it felt like the world had crumbled in an instant. He mentioned my name, my street. Hell, just hearing those words from him was enough to send the media directly to my doorstep. The first day was a blur of flashing cameras, shouted questions, and the sense of suffocating panic. I couldn't leave my house, so I retreated inside. But the weight of everyone's eyes on me made me feel like I was sinking. I had no idea how to handle it. Then Austin texted me, like a lifeline, offering me to stay with him until it all cooled down. I was desperate to leave, so I packed a bag and went. Those few days at Austin's were like a breath of fresh air. We spent hours talking about everything and nothing. The tension from the outside world faded. When it was just the two of us, I started to feel normal again. Austin was so kind, so patient, and before long, I realized he was filling the space I hadn't known was empty. Meanwhile, Tyler kept calling. His calls were relentless, and I ignored every one of them. I couldn't bring myself to answer, not after everything. But when I came back to my house this evening to grab a few things, I wasn't ready for what I found. Tyler was sitting on my porch like nothing had changed. Where have you been? Tyler's voice was desperate. I've been coming here every day, Milo. Why haven't you been home? I paused, feeling that familiar ache. None of your business. And after your special friend got me mobbed by the media, I couldn't stay here, could I? His face fell, shoulders slumping. Milo, I didn't mean for this to happen. I swear. I was lost, confused. I didn't know what I had until I lost it. His words punched me in the gut, but I couldn't fall for them. Not this time. I shook my head, voice steady. I did everything, Tyler. Everything to make you believe I was the one. I gave you everything. I bent over backwards, made myself small. And you treated me like I was disposable. I let you, but not anymore. I've given you every part of me. And you threw it all away. Tears welled in Tyler's eyes, and I could see the regret written all over him. He reached for me, his hand shaking. Please, Milo, just please. I can't live without you. I'll change, I swear. Just take me back. A lump in my throat nearly choked me, but I forced it down. You'll find someone who will put up with your bullshit, but it won't be me. Not anymore. I watched his face crumble as he sobbed. I'm sorry. Please, forgive me. I stood there ready to leave. Tyler grabbed my hand, fingers trembling. At that moment, my bag slipped off my shoulder, and the ring box fell on the ground. I froze, and so did Tyler. Are you going to propose to Austin? His voice was hoarse, filled with guilt. I swallowed hard. No, I was going to propose to you on New Year's. But now, I'm glad this happened. 'Cause I'm saving the ring for someone who deserves it. Tyler's face twisted, tears falling harder. Milo, please. I didn't mean to hurt you. I promise No, I cut him off, stepping back. You've had your chance. I'm glad you realize the Playboy thing isn't worth it, but that's not my problem anymore. You'll find someone who will let you play your games, but it won't be me. I turned and walked inside. Leaving him standing there, I grabbed what I needed and stepped back out after a good few minutes, only to find he was gone. I didn't care where he went. I had Austin now, and that's all that mattered. Later that night, I had just finished telling Austin about how I met Tyler today, and he couldn't just stop laughing about it. Why are you laughing? I asked, a bit annoyed. This makes sense. Ethan probably used Tyler for info, then dumped him once he got what he wanted. I smirked, leaning closer to him. Leave them. Leave them. I might have got a solution to all our problems. His brows furrowed. What solution? I grinned, teasing. Just tell me, are you ready for tomorrow? Tomorrow? He asked, narrowing his eyes. You'll see, I said, kissing his nose with a sly smile. The next afternoon. Oh, so this is what you meant, Austin exclaimed, glancing around his manager's office, the nerves evident from his voice. I smirked. Surprise! I talked to your manager. This press conference is your shot to own your truth and shut down Ethan's lies for good. Austin swallowed hard, glancing at the door. And you think it will work? I stepped closer, squeezing his hand. It's not about working. It's about standing up for yourself. So, ready to own your truth? The conference room buzzed with reporters as Austin walked up to the podium, his hands brushing mine for reassurance. Cameras flashed as he took a breath and started. I never planned to be here, honestly, Austin began. This whole thing about my sexuality. It's been confusing. I didn't even know who I was for a long time. I thought I had figured it out. But recently, I realized I'm bisexual. This isn't some label I picked for convenience. It's just me, finally facing the truth. His voice cracked slightly. So no, I'm not using anyone. I definitely didn't use girls to get where I am today. I did not cheat. The rumors Ethan's been spreading, they're lies. 'Cause I'm definitely not playing around with Milo. In fact, I'm happily in love with him. And I want the world to know that he's honestly the best thing that's ever happened to me. The room exploded with questions, but Austin silenced them by pulling me in for a kiss. Cameras captured every angle. How's that for owning the truth? He whispered. He whispered with a grin. You're incredible, I said, my chest swelling with pride. I'm so proud of you. He grinned wider, and for once, the weight of the world seemed lifted. 2 months later, the last months have been nothing short of bliss. Austin, true to his word, spent every moment he could showing me how much I meant to him. The slow pace we agreed on had quickly shifted into something deeper, more certain. Spending time with Austin made me see how I'd just become a pushover for Tyler, always keeping him above myself just because I wanted to know that I wasn't the same person. But it wasn't like that with Austin. He accepted me for who I was, with all my ugly parts, my past included. But just like that, and just like that, somewhere between late-night ice cream trips, where he insisted on tasting mine, despite having his own, and the way he always seemed to know when I needed space to figure out my feelings, I realized I'd fallen for him. It wasn't the grand gestures, though there were plenty of those. Like the time he surprised me with tickets to my favorite play. And it was the little things, how he listened when I rambled about my day, or how he always left a note on my coffee cup when he left for an early shoot, and how he never let me doubt that I was his priority. Even with the crazy demands of his career, he still made time for me. Late-night phone calls turned into impromptu movie marathons, and even after grueling shoots, he'd show up at our house with our favorite takeout, claiming he just needed to see my face. Yes, our house calls, I still lived with him. It just felt right that way. Watching him balance his chaotic schedule while making room for us made my heart ache in the best way. And now, here I was standing in our living room with a nervous flutter in my chest. The world already knew we were together, but this was different. I wanted to know that I wasn't just here for the moment. I was all in. When Austin walked in, looking tired but glowing in a way only he could, I greeted him with a small box in my hand. What is this? He asked, curious. Open it, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Inside was a simple leather bracelet with his initials engraved alongside mine. Just in case, His grin widened as he slipped the bracelet on, pulling me into a tight hug. "Of course, you idiot," he said softly, his voice laced with emotion. "I've been yours since the moment I kissed you. I love you, Austin, and I love you more," he said as he kissed me, the bracelet catching the light. I knew I'd found something real, something worth holding on to. Conclusion. It's been a year since I asked Austin to be my boyfriend, and a few things couldn't be any better. He got the lead in the Seven Husbands movie. Of course he did. After the scandal, no one would dare cast Ethan Cole, cause his career just went down after his fans saw he was just a manipulative liar. And Tyler, well, he did try reaching out for the first few months, but eventually stopped. When he realized I was long gone, Austin was just perfect for the role. For the past months, I've been going to his shoots and watching him act so passionately, and finding those cute little moments, for me, between takes, has been a dream. And today, it's the premiere of the movie. And guess what? I'm going to propose. Yes, I'll finally use the ring I've been saving for more than a year. Here's to hoping he says yes. To our countdown. To forever. What's your drunk New Year's Eve story? Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing to become a part of our Rainbow Force. And stay wholesome.